12 abandoned vehicles that will shock you. 12. The American Dream Limousine, a 100-foot promise on wheels. Built in the 1990s by California customizer J. Orberg, this record-long Cadillac Eldorado stretch hit 100 feet. So long, it even wore a helicopter pad like a crown. But a dream that large can't corner. It was never road legal, destined only for show lights and gasps. After its leasing company collapsed, the limo vanished, resurfacing in 2012 as a rusted carcass. Imagine the applause gone silent, chrome peeled back to bone, a monument to excess abandoned. The Autoseum Automotive Teaching Museum in New York took pity and rebuilt it, resurrecting a legend that once bent the horizon. 11. The Railcar Bridge of Georgia. A river dares you to cross between Kurtvishi and Akalakalaki. Someone dragged an old rail carriage over a raging river and called it safe passage. Step inside and the floor is missing, the air sweet with rust. Every footfall feels borrowed. It's recycling by desperation, a rickety idea clinging to two eroding banks. The current below roars like laughter at human hubris, daring a misstep. One day, the river will collect its tax, and this rail car will plunge with a sigh into the water that waited. 10. Canfranc Station, Spain, a cathedral built for empty tracks. High in the Pyrenees, a station grand enough for kings opened in 1928 with royal fanfare, and almost no passengers. Spain and France forgot their mismatched rail gauges, and then the Great Depression choked the dream. By 1930, fewer than 100 souls passed daily. Civil War shuttered tunnels. Time gnawed the facade. Here, glass once held daylight like holy water. Now wind catechizes the dust. Tourists whisper about restoration, as if a benediction could wake a sleeping giant of steel and stone. 9. Triple-decker RV, Franken motorhome of the desert. 3 stories tall, 24 wheels, stitched from scavenged RVs. This grainy photographed behemoth looks part parade float, part fever dream. A Silverado allegedly tows it, the way an ant drags a cathedral. Imagine desert heat boiling inside. No AC veins reaching all those rooms. Corners would be comedy. Lane changes. Opera. It belongs to dunes and horizons. A slow-motion skyscraper rolling where asphalt gives up. 8. The International Car Forest, Nevada's iron trees artists. Mark Ripple and Chad Sorg buried cars nose first in Goldfield sand until 40 vehicles tilted like prayer flags of metal. Buses stand at impossible angles. Pickups stack like totems. Graffiti becomes bark. It's a forest that photosynthesizes on sunlight, rust, and rebellion. The collaborators split, but the installation remains. Defiant, wind-scarred, oddly tender. Here, the highway's dead are replanted, growing into a new kind of shade. 7. Buckminster Fuller's Dymaxion, future on 3 wheels. A teardrop shell, 3 wheels, room for a dozen, and claims of 90 miles per hour. Fuller's 1933 Dymaxion promised efficiency before the word got fashionable. Then, at Chicago's World's Fair, a crash killed a driver and the vision sputtered out. The last prototype now rests in Reno, sleek as an idea that almost worked. Its aluminum smile reflects the ceiling lights like a lost constellation. Innovation is brave until it bleeds. After that, it becomes a museum label. 6. Old Car City, USA, a forest that eats chrome. In White, Georgia, 4,000 classic cars nap under pine needles on 32 acres, once home to a 1931 General Store. Elvis's last car haunts the aisles. Elsewhere, vines thread grills and birds nest in glove boxes. Some beauties shine, others surrender. Trees lifting frames like pallbearers with patience. The owner may play piano as you wander. Rust as rhythm, memories as melody. Here, headlights don't burn, they dream. 5. Kyrokö, car, cemetery, Sweden, the peat bog's quiet feast. In a Tingsryd peat bog, Oka Danielsson turned a dumping ground into a business in 1935, stripping Saabs, Volvos, and the odd American muscle for parts. The peat kept time slow. Moss learned the curves. Chrome forgot its name. After Oak's death in 2000, leftovers remained, shells and ghosts and rain. It's not a museum, it's a digestion. Metal returning to earth, one brown afternoon at a time. Stand still, and you can hear the bog breathe. 4. The Hank Williams Death Car, a blue Cadillac holding silence. In 1952, at just 29, Hank Williams died in the back seat of his baby blue Cadillac. The cause is a tangle: morphine, whiskey, loneliness. But the car endures in Montgomery's museum, polished like a hymn. Around it, photographs and posters hum, but the upholstery keeps it secret. Morbid, maybe. Or maybe it's a shrine to a voice too large for ribs. Among 1950s Cadillacs, few are better preserved. Among American sorrows, this one still sings. 3. Al Wukair Scrapyard, Qatar. The 4-month mirage. Across desert flats sprawl 20,000 plus impounded vehicles, dusted white as if the sun forgot to set. The rule says 4 months before crushing or auction, but Rose suggests time got lost in the sand. Some cars were abandoned, some orphaned by paperwork. Most are just tired. The heat turns dashboards to deserts, tires to shadows. Walk between them, and you feel like an archaeologist of tomorrow, cataloging models instead of pottery. 2. The Fugitive Wreck, a movie crash that never left. In 1993, practical effects meant a real train hit a real bus near Sylva, North Carolina, tearing metal, derailing cars, and making cinema crackle. The wreckage stayed, props rusting into landscape, fandom turning it into a roadside pilgrimage. No CGI can corrode this convincingly. Oak and ivy do the work now. The set became a site. The site became a rumor. Each year fewer visit, but the twisted steel keeps acting. 1. Istvan Telki, Red Star, Graveyard, Budapest. Engines after the end, hidden behind permissions and fences. Soviet-era locomotives rot beneath a dust of centuries and whispers. Some may have carried Holocaust victims, others just freight and fatigue. Built as a repair yard in the early 1900s, one distant shop still breathes, but most sheds hold iron in slow prayer. Red stars fade, rivets loosen. History hesitates to touch what hurts. Trains that once measured distance now measure silence. Let the road remember your name. Share this with 7 travelers and tag 3 believers. May night owls and highway angels steer luck to your door.